Hello and good morning. I wanted to just show you a couple of things this morning about setting up arcmap for working with raster data. And so there is an options module in arcmap that allows you to set different options for different parts of the application. I'm just going to focus particularly on raster options here. And so you find this in the Customize menu under ArcMap Options. And you can see there are a number of tabs here that allow you to change settings for different parts of ArcMap. You should probably get familiar with these, but under the Raster tab, and again, we all know what Raster is. Raster is the data model that we use with remote sensing data. And under this, there are a number of settings here. For instance, here's a raster dataset, and so you can see it in this setting that I have here. It always prompts for calculating pyramids. You can set it so that it does it automatically. Calculating pyramids creates new files in the location of a raster dataset that you have that are indexes, external index files, external to the actual image itself, that allow for quicker display and rendering of raster layers, in most cases using a quad tree logic. And so, take a look at these, and you probably could leave these as they are. This works for me. You can see I'm set at 16-bit maximum number of unique values in a raster layer, which works for most everything that I work with. Here you have raster catalog, some options. Again, this is if you're working with a raster catalog, this is probably the most useful tab here immediately for us, because when you create, sometimes using some of the automatic functions that we use when you create a color composite, the default you can see is to put red in 1, green in 2, and blue in 3, and that would create an odd color composite that would be a bit reversed, because as we know, red in at least in Landsat up through about 2011 or so, Landsat TM and MSS also, red is channel 3, green is channel 2, and blue is channel 1. And so if you reverse those, when you automatically produce a color composite from channels that you've brought in, say from Landsats 1 through 5 or 7, and you brought the channels in the order, you have them stacked in the order from 1 through 7, it will create a color composite that looks like a natural color composite rather than the odd 1, 2, 3, red, green, blue. As we know, blue is shorter wavelength than red, and so it's number 1 on our scale. And so, this is just a simple change you can make that will make the default result when you make a color composite. You can always change it later, but this makes it, when you're doing it automatic, it makes it come out as a natural color composite rather than just an odd reversed color composite, that false color composite that really is kind of difficult to interpret. So take a look through these. There's a number of other parts to this. There's a section on mosaicing, and if you're using image servers here. So take a look at these and get familiar with them, and you probably should get familiar with all of these for when you're working in ArcMap. Setting up options can really speed things along and make things work a little more efficiently for you, and it certainly allows you to control some of the functions and formats within within the application.